Okay, good morning and welcome to another video. And on today's video we're going to be talking about cameras and what the best setup is for a motorcycle camera, whether it be on your helmet or whether it be on the actual side of the bike or on the fairings. So we're going to talk about picture quality, sound, and what settings I use to actually get the incredible footage that I've been able to capture over the years. And yeah, so stick around, stay tuned. So we're first going to start with the Insta360 One R, and this is the 4K mod that I've put on here, and we're going to be filming in 4K 30, 4K 60, and we'll see what results we can get out of this camera. As you can see on the side here, I've put the mic adapter, so I'll be using the Insta360 mic through a lav mic inside the helmet, and we'll just see how that compares to the OSMO Action microphone and the sound quality that I've been using in my videos recently. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to head off and we're going to test the Insta360 One R first, and then from there we're going to switch over to the helmet cam on the OSMO Action that I'm filming with just now, and we'll test it also on the OSMO Action. So we'll see exactly what difference is between both cameras. If you're interested in buying a camera for the bike, then I can show you the difference between these two. I can't show you the difference between the GoPro, especially the new GoPro 9 that's just come out. But I'll be getting that, and then I can do a comparison with all three. So it's a glorious day. Stay tuned, stick around, and let's get into the video. Okay, so we've got the Insta360 as my main helmet cam in this section, and we are filming on the 4K module. We're filming at 4K 30 frames per second, and on 30 frames per second you get a bit more of a perspective of the motorcycle in front of you, a wider angle than you would if you were filming in 60. So we're going to start off helmet cam, test of the microphone as well that I'm using now, straight out of the Insta360 One R. It's at 4K 30 frames per second, and we're on super wide view just now. So first test really of the microphone setup. So if you're thinking of going down the road of vlogging with a camera, and an action camera that is, and this is the 4K module on the Insta360 One R, and we have the mic adapter that goes to a 3.5mm lav mic, which I've mounted inside my helmet and just tucked it in the side of my cheek pad. So it's a little bit windy over here, so it'll get a good feel of the wind and whether it's picking the wind up or not. There are settings within the camera that you can put noise reduction, but I find it gives it a little bit of a muted effect, so I've left that off currently. So let's have a look at the picture quality first of all. Now I mentioned that I normally film in 4K 60 frames per second, and the reason that is that you get less motion blur, and what that does in the actual footage is because we're traveling quite fast on a motorcycle, you would get more of a blurred image, especially along the sides of the road as we're moving along. Now while filming stationary at things moving, that's probably quite a nice effect, but when you're on a motorcycle or any fast moving type motorsports, my recommendation, and one of the top 3 recommendations, is always film at 60 frames per second if you can. Now if you have an action camera that films at 4K 60, that's great, you'll get the best quality footage. And if you've got a action cam that films in 1080 60 or 2.7 60, then that's great, you'll get the best footage at that. And when filming on a day like this, pretty much a lot of cameras, because they're taking so much light into the sensor, will look good. But the problem is, in UK we have sort of 6 months of grey skies and dull days, so I tend to move towards cameras that are very good in low light. And the OSMO Action that you can see just here, that I'm filming myself looking backwards on, as some of you know, that's my main go-to camera for the helmet. But I did want to try out the Insta360 because they have brought out a 1-inch sensor mod now. It's not the one I'm filming on, I'm only filming on the 4K mod, but the 1-inch sensor will certainly take a lot more light in, and it might be better for UK weather and light filming. So let's see how this turns out. By the way, this is the first time I've actually used the Insta360 One R with a 4K mod on as a main helmet cam, and I'm interested to see how the video footage turns out. So this is a first for me. So again, on screen, this is 4K 30 frames per second. I'm not steaming along, I'm only doing about 50 miles per hour. So what we'll do now, we'll move to 4K 60 frames per second, and then I'll do a split screen, and we'll see if we can see the difference as well. So we're actually moving along around the same speed now, same road, and we're now shooting in 4K 60 frames per second. And one thing you'll notice on the Insta360 One R is that from 30 frames per second to 60 frames per second, it does crop the image a little bit. And the image is cropped so you don't see more of the dash and the handlebars area of the bike. So 30 frames per second is perfect if you want to get some of the bike in shot and also what's in front of you. So there's always a compromise between cameras and pictures and things. So we're shooting 60 frames per second just here, and you'll get less motion blur on the picture as I'm going along in front. And what I found is that 60 gives for me, when I look at it anyway, my opinion, the best shot for fast-moving action. So, take a look on screen, the 30 frames per second and the 60 frames per second shot out of the Insta360 One R 4K mod. Okay, so you can see I always carry a bag of bits, which is camera accessories, tripod. I've got a selfie stick in here. I've got a OSMO pocket. I've got spare batteries for the OSMO Action, spare batteries for the Insta360 One R. I've got the other mod, which is the beauty about the Insta360. You can put a 4K mod like we've been using, or this is the 360 degree mod, which I normally use on my handlebars, so I get a real wide angle view of me looking back, and we'll show you that again shortly. So yeah, I've got some lens guards, so if you do get the 360 mod and you drop this, you're going to actually damage one of the lenses, and I have damaged one side. So you can actually get these things, which are lens guards, and these go over on the housing to stop you damaging it. Would recommend getting the lens guards if you're going to buy an Insta360 One R, mainly because if you do drop it, that little, and I've dropped it, there you go, see how easy it is to drop them, and that wasn't on purpose. So luckily it was on grass. If it had been on tarmac I'd have damaged that, but basically the lens guards go on and protect it. So £270 just for that, which is crazy. So if you drop it once on a road or concrete, it's 270 quid to replace it. So we'll put everything away and continue now. Okay, so you can see the view now. I'm using the 4K mod on the Insta360 One R, actually on the bars, looking back at them. So while it gives a view of myself, it's in super wide currently, but it doesn't show a lot of the bike. So I'll show you what I do normally, is that I actually use the 360 mod, which gives a super wide shot of me, the bike and the bars and everything. So it's a lovely evening, and we've got the Drift Innovation mic, lav mic, in the helmet now. As you can see, the sound is now perfect and not as it was before. So if you are getting a camera and putting a lav mic in it, I recommend the Drift Innovation lav mic. You can get it off Amazon or eBay, and they must all be different in sign, in frequency, and all of that kind of stuff, because you'd think a lav mic would be the same as the next lav mic, but it's not. So yeah, lovely evening to finish the video off, and I'll just show you in a minute how I sync both cameras up for when I edit them, and that's syncing sound up to both cameras. So I'll just pull over here and I'll show you. So what I actually do is I actually pip my horn 3 times, and then basically when I edit I can make sure I see the sound and hear the sound in both video clips, and then I just cut the clip after the 3rd peep of the horn, and basically then I can sync the audio up with the both of the video files and work it like that. So yeah, hope that's been helpful. And what we're going to do now is head home. So to all my subscribers that subscribe to the channel, thank you very much for your support. Do hope the video is helpful to some people. And if you've any questions at all, guys, please pop them in the comment section below, and I'm happy to answer those. I normally get a notification when a comment drops in, so I'll come back to you pretty quick. If you've any comments on settings or other settings within the camera that I use, happy to provide those, not an issue. And if you're a new subscriber to the channel and this is your first time joining us here, then please subscribe and hit that bell button for notifications of videos when they come up. Normally we upload weekly, so every weekend, or you do get sometimes the odd video dropping midweek. So anyway, have a good rest of the weekend, and good week at work or whatever you're doing, and we'll catch you on another video soon.